I guess we'll start with some questions for some viewers then.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah. I think it would be a good way to start off.
Yeah. All right.
What are some
Women.
questions? What about
Women.
them?
Women
What
I'm
about
scared of them.
in calisthenics.
Did someone ask that?
Yeah, good old
What
Sheree.
about
Shazza.
women? Shazza?
As in women athletes or
Yeah.
what about in general with calisthenics?
It's calisthenics and women.
I feel like there isn't that many of them, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not
In the
that
Cali
many.
industry, it is. I feel like it is
There's
very
the Mod
male.
Queen and there's Faith Bra and then there's Danny Mendoza.
Mm. Yeah, I think those are all the big main ones
Yeah.
that at least we know of in Sydney.
Sarah B, L9 champion for women's.
Recent comp, that one.
I feel like females more common in gymnastics rather than calisthenics because it's harder for women to build strength compared to men.
I mean, they can build strength in calisthenics in different ways. Like
Some of them are really good at handstands.
scorpion
yeah,
handstands.
because it's a skill-based move rather than a strength, so they can get very good. They tend to be quite good at that.
I've been seeing a couple.
You're like
doing some planches recently on Instagram,
Yeah,
which has been pretty good.
probably like a couple in the world.
More than usual. Wait.
Something funny?
No. Well, there are some women influencers that I do follow, like EJ Inc., Lil Lit Fitness, Char Fitness, Demi Bagby is no G. There's some women in calisthenics. And there's like Lee Strength Journey, Jazzy Slidnova, Hermona, Shine Hermona, Estefani.
Encyclopedia of calisthenics over here.
When did they start Instagram?
Yeah.
No, I feel like there isn't that too many calisthenics.
It was pretty impressive when you see a woman do something that a man can't do.
Yeah, it's impressive.
No, it is
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a full planche.
in terms of calisthenics.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's much harder for them to build
Yeah.
that strength.
So it is quite impressive when they do it.
Mm.
I feel like there should be more women in the Cali industry.
Yeah.
Well, it's just not as appealing.
we got the Mod Queen, Amelia.
Yeah, we do.
Pull up a clip of her at Vivid, smashing it.
Are you going to pull up a clip?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, we can do
Oh,
that.
you're
now.
not going
We can
to,
do
though.
that from now on. We can do
Anytime
that.
you said that you're going to, you've never done it.
The only other
That's
time
fine.
I
Well,
You
if
keep
it happens,
saying
if it
it.
happens,
This is pretty like good content though, because I have plenty of footage of Amelia mogging.
Actually, I guess so. You can
yeah,
just,
she's come with us.
you can just
Yeah.
clip it.
Yeah,
If that happens, we'll see. We'll see in post. If you guys see it, you see it. If you don't, sorry. Nah, yeah, I think she's really good at what she does, but she's very much more of a performer as well, which is good.
yeah.
But I just besides the women you've mentioned, I don't think there is too many other Cali girls that I know of.
It's not that hard to teach a girl calisthenics though. There are some really good looking moves that girls can do because their flexibility just allows, like a split lever, or even like a handstand to back bridge. Yeah. I mean, when I was at Dauntless in Sydney, I was training a bunch of girls and they can do stuff like the forward rolls and backward rolls on the bar, split back lever. If they're gutsy enough, everyone can do a flyway except for me. Olympic muscle up.
Never seen you do a flyway.
Yeah.
I
Too
think
late
it's
now.
about
Anyways,
like now.
Continue.
I think most of the girls that maybe kind of do Cali, they kind of just do it in different industries. Like, for example, pole. Like I know a lot of girls that do pole. It's very similar.
I don't think
but they
enough.
don't necessarily do calisthenics. They do pole.
I don't think enough girls from pole do calisthenics because pole is already pretty good in terms of strength building wise, anyways.
Yeah.
Like there's no real need for them to go to calisthenics.
Yeah,
because
that's
they've
why I
already
feel
got
like there isn't as many as well. It's not as appealing. I think
The
they
pole
get
is
more-
pretty much calisthenics, just different apparatus.
it's pole.
Yeah.
Fucking hard one.
Yeah. Instead of bar, it's pole.
Yeah, it's just a vertical one.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's different. But yeah, I don't know too many other girls that do it. Well, the only females that I know that do pole, they're all very strong. But I don't know many other girls that do Cali. They mainly do pole instead. I think it's more appealing.
Yeah, but Shazza brought up an interesting point about girls being scared of going to the gym because of burly guys. Not burly guys, but burly guys.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As in the muscles.
Yeah.
And because they're women, you know, other men looking at them and checking them out might intimidate them.
Yeah. Whereas in the park, I mean, it is arguably more dodgy because if you go to like Meadowbank and you walk across the street and you see like all these lights and a bunch of men out there at 8 p.m. at
Shirtless.
night,
Shirtless.
shirtless, pumping hard style, then
Not
you,
speaking English.
But we're usually acting like children, so we're
Yeah.
usually not that intimidating.
like you think that'd be intimidating if you're a woman walking down the street at night and you see all these lights and half naked guys training and pumping hard style. But there's like this girl called Isabel that recently joined Meadowbank and she literally just saw the boys training and joined in, and now she's a regular there for the past like 6 to 8 weeks.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's really weird, eh?
That is
Yeah.
odd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
we're
it's
not that
just- yeah.
intimidating.
A bit like Arthur and Mr. Subaru.
Yeah, Mr. Hub.
Mr. Hub. Sorry, yeah.
Mm.
A bit like him, but apparently he's disappeared now.
Yeah, Mr. Hub is just gone.
Damn.
Yeah, but women calisthenics,
Not
interesting
that big.
topic.
I think it should be. I find it hard. I feel like it's hard for them to grow in the sport. Like I said, I don't think it appeals to them as much as other sports similar to it. Like I said with pole, like I think they like it because it's a bit more sexy kind of stuff, which I think they like.
If you were a woman, what discipline would you pick? Powerlifting, bodybuilding, acrobatics, calisthenics?
Yeah, it's hard to say because we're not women, so we can't really say. But
Yeah. Or maybe pole.
I feel like aesthetics. I
Yeah,
train
that's-
aesthetics if
yeah.
I was a woman.
Yeah.
Lots of lower body,
I mean,
hip thrusts.
will that make you
glute
more
bridges.
inclined to do more calisthenics? Because if you just only do lower body at the gym, then you can just spam upper body when you're at home.
Yeah, but I think they'd rather do it all in the gym at once instead of training.
Or you can do calisthenics in the gym.
Yeah.
Like Danny Mendoza.
Mm.
Yeah, because if I was a chick, I wouldn't be particularly worried about getting strong. This is what I think I would think,
Mhm.
at least, because I'm not a woman, so I don't know. But I feel like I'd be more concerned with how I look, because that's more important than your physical strength as a chick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for us, we're more concerned with just being strong rather than how we look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you look from a lens of a woman, you're still kind of thinking about it in a masculine way.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to
Well,
tell.
I'm trying to think of it in in a feminine way. So I reckon I would just train mainly aesthetics, hypertrophy.
Mm.
I don't know if it's that appealing.
Women are social, so that side of things would appeal more to them for calisthenics.
That's a
Oh,
good
gym.
point, yeah.
It depends what you are looking to get out of your training.
Not even
No,
just training. I
in
think,
general,
yeah.
women, as opposed to men, are more social.
Yeah.
Their life centers more around socialization than men's does.
Yeah, of
So-
course.
As a result, going to the gym versus training calisthenics in a group setting, I guess if it's all just like if it's one woman and all just men, then it's like less appealing. But just say, for instance, that it was like a lot of women training together, training calisthenics, versus the woman just going to the gym and just training at the gym. Like we said 2 episodes ago, when you go to the gym, you just kind of put your headphones on and you just go in your own world.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the same across the whole board for sure, but I think based on that mindset of women being more social, the calisthenics setting would be more appealing
Yeah,
in that sense. I just don't think it's popularized enough, because that's the other thing that
depends why you train.
appeals to women.
Yeah, there's good
If
conversion
I'm,
across the
if
board,
I'm
though.
talking purely in the purpose of training, like not even thinking about the social aspect of it, then it would be aesthetics, training in a gym. But the whole social side, that's a whole completely different.
Yeah,
It's a
but
whole-
it's
a whole
actually
another
really
avenue.
important though.
Huh?
It's really
Yeah.
important though, because women aren't gonna train calisthenics. There's no social aspect to it. That's why like Pilates classes and spin classes,
Correct.
these group fitness classes are always booked with women. Like I go into a exercise room at the gym, and I just see 70% women, maybe like the rest guys, and yeah, I guess it's just how it is.
It also depends on whether you're internally or externally motivated.
Mm.
Women,
Yeah. I mean, if
say,
you go
tend to
into
be more externally
exercise
motivated.
room, you go to exercise room in the gym, do you see like a whole group class full of guys, or do you see
I
most of
hope
girls?
I hope it's a group class of women if I ever do go in one.
Do we have crickets on the soundboard?
Oh,
Do
wait.
actually.
You do.
Which one is it?
I'm assuming it's the green one. This one? Oh, yeah.
Oh, Isaac,
Wait, which
We
one is
can't-
it? Just so I know for future reference.
No, I'm turning it off.
Turn it
Right.
off. No, leave it on so we can just.
Yeah, but it mo-
Isaac
yeah,
would
yeah.
know because he's been pressing them all with his feet.
Yeah, but he just
during
presses
calls.
them all at once. He doesn't pick which one.
He's trying to be a DJ.
Oh, no. Well, that was that one time, but imagine all the other times he's done it.
Yeah, right.
Should I wash my finger now?
I wish we could play that call recording to the audience.
No, that would be.
I don't think anyone-
Offboarding pathway imminent. Anyways,
Yeah, I don't. But plus, I don't. When it does come to calisthenics and the female side of it, I don't know any big female cali athletes compared to like the male ones. For example, I don't know if maybe they're just not on my feed or not in my scope of stuff that I see. But like, I only see the top males.
Well, that's also because there's more males in calisthenics, and males in calisthenics will look up to other males in calisthenics. So, like, the biggest female in calisthenics isn't going to be looked up to by men as much as the biggest man in calisthenics, because people will look up to people who are similar to them, or people who they feel like they want to idolize or become more like. You can't become more like a woman. So,
arguable.
Well,
these
Today's
days,
day and
these
age.
days, it's questionable.
yeah, it's true.
At least I just don't see it on even on the side of my feed or anything. I just don't see it at all.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, well,
does
because,
come to
yeah,
stuff like that.
biggest women calisthenics athletes or female calisthenics athletes aren't big because they don't have other female calisthenics athletes supporting them and idolizing them.
I just had some. Yeah. No, I keep track of everything. I keep track of both genders just in case like conversation does come up. So for Australia, if you want to follow female athlete, then obviously like Danny and Amelia, but I guess the biggest one would be Mariah Stock. She trains at Bondi. And across the world, Demi Bagby probably be the most popular one. And then in the European world, then like Milani Dreesen, Yazzie Slanova. Yeah, just to name a few. But yeah, in Australia, big ones, Mariah Stock.
Hasn't come across my feed.
She's a bit calorie retired. She still goes, this is like almost stalkerish, but like I'm just going to say how it is. Like if you want to train with women, just go to Bondi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
At least there's a big pole community like with Dirty Birdie and Nicole and all them training all the time.
Yeah.
At least when it does come to a pole, they're always very inviting for any women that are there. Always try to bring it on.
Pretty much.
That's like the only female groups that I know of, and they're all pole.
Maybe if you go to Emerson Reserve, like Barlines meet up, then there's some girls that train there.
I haven't been to one. I don't know any other ones.
Yeah, I've been asked if from females by females if there's any female only groups.
Really?
Yeah, but can't really refer them to any.
Yeah.
No,
Is
just
it really in-
Just join the OGs. It's a good environment. We have athletes that train with us that are female all the time. They
Yeah.
love it.
Faith bra.
Literally,
Yeah,
Faith's
that's
there all
always
the
there.
time.
You
Amelia,
just wanted to say Faith, bruh.
Yeah. Yeah. Amelia.
but she's always there. Both of them are always there.
the Mendoza.
Yeah. Always
Yeah,
there.
they love it.
Any other names you want to mention?
Shout out every female calisthenic athletes in Australia. It's kind of sad though because I can just name them. That's how little there are. Yeah.
I think there is an opportunity for growth there in that aspect. But then ours is still small as well.
There's going to be a female category for the comp coming up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there will be. Which
I
will be good
mean-
to see.
We do have medals and trophies for female winners. So if you want to join, then you have a good chance of copying one and saying that you're like one of the best in Australia.
Yeah.
But this
bragging
comp
rights.
is gonna be good. So I'll still come anyways,
Be good.
even if you're not
spectacle.
competing. Yeah,
Spectacle. At least you'll be able to see other female athletes as well, which would be good.
please
Give you a
come.
bit more motivation.
It's a good experience.
Nah,
Be
can't
part
wait
of
for
history.
Yeah. I really can't wait for the comp. It should be fun.
Hmm.
Not long now.
How's your injuries going?
Shit.
We're
We're
all
like
injured.
half of us are injured.
My lat's still
Great
cooked.
What are you
timing.
looking at me for?
You got injuries? You got injuries?
No?
My lat's healing, but my wrist is playing up now. Unfortunately.
Mental injuries. That's
Mm,
about it.
That's fine.
yeah,
gives
that's
you fuel.
fine. You can
Makes you train better.
You can power through that.
Can't feel the pain.
My shoulder is probably like 90%. I can't swing. I wouldn't be able to swing that. Wouldn't be able to handle that.
Someone knocking on the door behind you or something?
Maybe.
So I can't do dynamics yet. So it's probably just it's looking like a static only comp, to be honest. For
It'll
me.
still be fun for me. I won't be. I'll be at like, I reckon. Like if I was going to be competition ready, I reckon I'd be at like 60-70%. Unfortunately, but it'll still be fun. Yeah, I'll enjoy it.
It's for the vibes.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be good just to train with your mates, show off what you got.
Get
What I
everyone
can do.
together.
I heard Brian say you're never ready for comp.
Oh, I feel like I'd be more ready if I wasn't injured.
Yeah, but like you're never not injured. So
Yeah, that's true. I wasn't injured.
You're
for
never
the
ready,
Sydney
but
aspect.
you could be
More prepared.
less not ready.
Yeah.
Mm.
What about you, Isaac? You injured at all?
I am injured. I broke my ankle 4 months ago, but I can apparently do dynamics still.
You just can't bail.
Is that
Yeah, just don't fall. And you're
Yeah,
fine.
fair enough.
have you been given permission by a health professional?
I haven't been to a physiotherapist once since I broke it 4 months ago. I think physiotherapy is a scam.
Oofed.
I've never been to a physiotherapist.
Matt, the physio, is
Yeah,
probably
I
watching
like
this.
Matt the physio. He did me wonders, especially when it came to
Can't believe you
managing
said
the
that.
pain.
No, I believe it's like
Matt's my hero.
Yeah, he fixed me up as well. We're against you.
Fixed all three of us up.
Yeah.
We're all against you.
Yeah. All against you. Physios are great. Doctors are a scam. Physios are great.
Well, I don't know. I trust doctors.
Mm.
They know more than me.
Yeah, but they
And I
just
know
give
what
you
I know
medicine.
because
That's all they do.
Oh, they
They don't really
give me
fix the
medicine.
issue if you have one. Unless you like need to get surgery or something serious.
Yeah. I feel like when it comes to small stuff like that, we wouldn't really go doctors anyway. It's only for serious stuff I would go.
Depends
And if
on,
your health is in danger,
Yeah.
yeah, depends on their agenda.
Mm.
they're usually male doctors, I see.
Doctor that follows the book is useless. You have to treat based on like the individual experience with the patient. Same with physio. If you just go by the book, you're useless. You just look it up on the internet now anyway.
Mm.
If you're a physio that actually takes the time to invest in the specific circumstance of the person you're treating, this goes with any doctor, and then actually I guess care about the experience with the patient as well,
Mm.
you know. 'Cause it's not just about like, oh yeah, you're sick, like here's the fix, just do this, you know.
Yeah, but I still like the physio. Physio helped with my pain when I was injured badly. It was good guidance because I didn't know what to do. I wasn't well depth in that.
I wouldn't go to any other physio
Yeah.
than Matt. Like
Yeah,
I wouldn't go to if I had to go to a physio, I'd probably just fly to Sydney.
You've been
see
to
Matt.
other physios before that? Before Matt?
I've
Any bad ones?
because so my dad has heaps of he's had
Hey,
heaps
huh?
of problems. He's had heaps of physical
is.
physical ailments in the past, and he went through a bunch of physios and he found one that he loved and he hated the rest. So since I was young, he always told
This
me,
is
"Oh,
Matt.
go see this one." Not Matt. It was this other bloke called Gavin.
Yeah, right.
And this guy's like a wizard. Like there's one time where I had pain in my wrist and he was treating me for it. And he gets me to stand up and goes, "All right, just hop on the spot." I'm like, okay, yeah, just hop on the spot. He's asked me to hop on the spot. So I hop on the spot.
Okay.
And,
Bit of a relevant chat.
and
Continue.
so I hop on the spot. And then he's like, okay. And then he gets me to lie back down. And he was like teaching a student as well. So it was being like, "Oh, what did you notice? Did you see anything?" And like him and Matt were like, no, what's going on? And eventually he points at my calf and he's like, "Okay, so watch this." And he pushes in my calf like really tight like this. And he's like, "All right, now move your wrist." And I moved it and the pain was gone. It was my left calf and it was my right wrist that had the pain. He pushes in my left calf and the pain goes.
Yeah.
I was like, what the? Then he lets go of it and then the pain's back.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is this wizardry? It's crazy. He does it all the time. So he'll look at you, get you to do a move, and then he'll push something in your body or point out exactly
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
it's happening.
My
He
mum's
never
got it.
doesn't know as well.
Mum.
And then he taught Matt. Matt obviously like he's not to that level of wizardry
That was
because
good though.
he's been doing it for this wizard's been physio his whole life.
Fixed my I think it was my shoulder with my forearm. My forearm
Yeah.
was the
But
problem.
Matt's still very good. He's any issue I've had,
Yep.
he's been able to help me solve it. There's not a single issue I've had which I haven't been able to solve.
That's good. He gets
with
around
his
the
help.
Cali as well.
Yeah.
He's been down to St. Leonard's.
Yeah, he's been getting around some handstands and some levers
Mm.
recently.
Yeah. It's good watching people get into it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I've really been enjoying watching Anthony.
Yeah, he was telling me he was thinking about starting a potty as well,
Oh yeah.
and he was slightly spied by us.
Yeah, tell us how you rated Anthony. We've already gotten some like good feedback
Yeah.
and
How
Words
we
of-
rated Anthony.
or the viewers.
Viewers.
Yeah.
What they thought.
Oh, you're speaking directly to the viewers, yeah.
Yeah.
not
He's
me.
talking to those
Yeah,
ones.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Watching him progress is pretty exciting. I got excited.
Should we put some clips up?
Are you actually gonna do it?
What's the timestamp? 22?
Well, he's gonna make a separate reel. It's not gonna come in.
see it.
It's not gonna be in the main. podcast.
22.
Yeah,
22.50.
22 because I've got 3 minutes left on my timer.
When everyone comes up for comp, we'll probably do a couple of guest potties.
Yeah. I feel like it would be stupid not to.
It's always nice when we have a guest.
Mm.
We're just a little bit short on seats, so we might have to squeeze someone in somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See. Squeeze someone in the
We just get someone to
We're
sub in.
small.
Yeah, I'm not fussed.
Just get people to sub in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think keeping it to 4 is better.
Yeah, you could sub in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a bad idea. Yeah. I reckon it'll be good to get some people on the pod.
Rapid fire. You just we have an audience and just every 15 minutes switcheroo. Hey, get in here. Hey, you stay out of it.
No, yeah, it would be good to get them on, get a nice spectrum of views and different opinions in the Cali industry.
Mm.
At least, and some of the top people, I reckon, it would be good to have on here.
Would you
Maybe the
mention?
winners of the comp.
Would you mention about the spectrum?
Hmm?
Said something about on the spectrum.
You're relating.
Oh, never mind. Anyways,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, good chat.
yeah,
I
always
think he
good
was
chat.
talking about you.
Could be.
I mean, everyone in the community that's coming up to comp, everyone has like different viewpoints of calisthenics and everything.
Yeah, different aspects of training and
Yeah.
what things to think about when
Like-
doing certain movements.
Just before this podcast, I was talking to Hugh, aka Rice Lord, about many different topics, like using bands, structuring your workouts, resistance, like all that kind of stuff.
Mm.
But
Oh,
do you think bands are a scam, or
I was going to ask that.
Only light bands.
I think you
I
should?
think there's a point when you're using like a real heavy band, I feel like it's not beneficial. But a light band for a little bit of assistance, I think it's very beneficial.
Mm.
I don't think it's a scam. I think
Yeah.
there's many ways to train, many ways to do it.
Mm.
Is Rice Lord anti band?
Nah, he's pro band.
Pro band? Yeah, I think bands.
Yeah.
It's good.
I feel
I
like if
never
you use them properly,
I've never
Depends on-
used bands for pull like ever, but I've used them for push.
I've used them for.
But my pull is my strongest.
You train
it's
it the
my
most,
strong
though.
point. No, train evenly with push.
I haven't seen you do a planche in a long time.
Yeah, because my shoulder.
Oh, fair.
So I train push just as much. It's even, pretty even.
So you shouldn't use bands like Aaron and Kip.
I feel like when you're using a real heavy band to try to just get full form of like the full form of a movement, like say doing like a sat, and you're doing full sat, but you can barely do like a touch sat, and you're using just a heavy band just so you can do full. I feel like that's a bit pointless.
Are you saying Aaron and Kip do or don't use bands?
They use bands.
They do.
When they do multis.
Should we berate the band community?
I was
they
going to
do
say, bro, I
multis.
don't think I've ever seen either of them use bands.
band spam multis, bro? I said, don't use it like that.
should we berate
Best
the
of all.
band community? Like we berated the bodybuilding community?
But I like bands. I use
Yeah, I
them.
like them too.
Use
I
them
bet-
to warm
I'm on-
up, use them to train.
I'm on both sides because I've done both.
Bands
Yeah.
and bands.
To
are
be fair,
necessary.
I love bands for warm up the rotator cuff.
It's like CJ.
mandatory for every
CJ
workout.
pushes band spam, like
and,
thick,
and it's
thick
worked for him.
bands. Yeah, I know Michael does warm ups using a thick band, like just to get his muscles moving. And I've personally used thick bands in my first few months of training planche this year.
I feel like if you use them effectively, like I say, a lot of people use bands and they're just using a really strong band, and they're not. I feel like they're not getting much out of it.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Mm.
That's what I did. I used a thick band.
Yeah, they get a lot of assistance out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got a lot
think
of
it's
other
too
stuff
much
out of it as
assistance.
well when I used heavy bands. I think it's incredibly useful at the start.
I think it's only useful if you know what you're doing with it. So I see
I
some people
disagree.
overuse it,
I think
and they're
it's
not.
more useful if you don't know what you're doing with it.
Why don't you just simplify the
How
hold
so?
then?
Because, all right, let's say, for instance, front lever, right? You've never done a front lever before in your life. You're not strong enough to do a front lever. How are you going to know what you're actually aiming to achieve in terms of the actual position that you're aiming for without using some sort of heavy band at some point early on in the progression to understand the actual engagement that you need? Do you know what I mean? It's not identical, but doing advanced tuck front lever versus using a heavy band is completely different in terms of understanding where you actually need to position your body and what muscles you need to engage and how it actually feels to hold the full position. I did both of those. I did it with front lever and I did it even more with planche when I first started planche.
Yeah,
Like
same as me. I
Yeah,
double
just get a feel of the technique.
I
get what you're
double
saying.
I double
useful.
wrapped black band like really close to my waist for like a dip bar, and I just spam touch that way. Like I could easily hold that for like 20 seconds if I wanted to. But it just taught me how to engage my muscles. But when I peaked in was it September this year, then I was training without a band leading up to that. But it really gave me a sense of activation in my first few years. And for planche, really helped early this year as well with presses, because I had no idea like how to do a press. So I really needed a band to help me with that. And now you never see me do any like band work during my normal working sets. I just spam
Because
it
you've
body weight.
passed it.
Think about what we were talking about before, a couple episodes ago, about what is incorporated in strength versus, or in strength, it's CNS, so it's like central nervous system, or what's the other term to do with it in terms of the neuromuscular connection. So it's neuromuscular connection and the actual muscular activation, right? It's like 50-50 split. So when you use bands to understand the movement, you're directly targeting that nervous system, understanding how to activate the muscles and how it actually feels to hold a specific position. Valentine has said the same thing, just I guess in a different way, in terms of, he said calisthenics is like a way of expressing strength, right? That's what he said, right? Isaac?
Yeah.
Wakey.
He's the
Yeah.
encyclopedia, mate.
And so it's not necessarily just being strong enough or being as strong as possible. It's actually understanding and having the neuromuscular connection and the ability to express your strength in that particular way. If you don't use bands at some point to help you like bridge the gap in terms of like understanding what position you need to be in as the end result, then it will take so much longer to actually get there because you don't know sort of what you're aiming to achieve with that side of things. The strength side, bands like help to some, it depends what you do with them, but it's like doing some other progression with it's like doing a no band progression. Same sort of thing. You get the same strength benefit, but then the other side of it, you get a massive, massive boost if you do bands and like do a full hold.
Partially disagree.
I
Partially agree.
I agree with what he's saying, but my point was I just see a lot of people using really heavy bands and not trying to get that muscle connection and get that really focus on that form and that aspect of that connection.
Like, for example, if you always use bands and you're doing 10 plus reps or just really long holds all the time, then you're not really going to get the strength. You need to do a high intensity, short volume.
Blake's not saying you'll get strength from it. It's more the mind-body connection.
Yeah.
No. The only way you'd get strength is, like I was saying, comparative to like an easier progression, say for planche, right? You could do an advanced tuck planche, or you could do a band-assisted full planche, like that's like on a similar sort of
same level
you know
of
what
strength
Yeah, yeah,
stimulation.
Yeah. So you kind of, it's one or the other, but with the band, you get the idea of the full planche, whereas with the
you can
advanced
train
tuck,
the technique as well. Yeah.
less so.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%. No, I get what you're saying.
But I think in anything, it's important to have the variability. You need the
Yeah,
variation.
I mean, you don't need bands, but it makes sense what you're saying.
Yeah.
It can help
Yeah,
for sure.
I think you need all
Like,
But then you could also argue there's negatives as well. For example, with front lever, I trained pretty much only negatives till I got front lever, and you can maintain really good form if you just go higher, right?
Mm.
And then just slowly lower to the point where is just about to start breaking down. And then that's the sweet spot where you
Yep.
can still maintain good form, but it's high enough intensity where you're still stimulating the muscle enough.
I think variability is super important.
Mm.
I thought about this the other day actually with calisthenics because we were talking about specificity a lot. Training specifically for, like, say if you're training for planche, you need to train specifically for planche. If you kind of do, like, I don't know, HSPUs or other push movements or whatever, you'll get some crossover benefit, but you won't get anywhere near as much as if you're directly targeting planche. But then the alternative or the flip side to that is how do you incorporate variability into something that you have to train so specifically for? And the answer is through using bands, using bands to sort of do the full movement with assistance, then also doing like the progressions without the band, if that makes sense. So like tucks, advanced tucks, like lever progressions, I guess you call them. That's how you can incorporate some variability.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I can't wait to start training planche again after comp though.
The thing with bands, so for me, there are some technicalities to it besides just putting the weight, making the weights lighter. They're like, since the band pulls you up on your pelvis, then it makes the exercise really strict for like a planche press, say for example. So when you do a planche press with a band that's like gonna get you to maybe 3 to 6 reps, then it feels very different compared to doing a set of 3 body weight presses, but you're trying to cheat a lot. So when you want to cheat in a planche press and try to use more arch in your back, it's really hard to come by when you're using a band. You can't really train the neuromuscular connection and also the central nervous system as much because bands pull your pelvis in, whereas body weight, you don't have a band, so you're trying to arch it as much as possible, and that trains different parts of your muscle. Like with a band, I never really engaged my feet and my calf, my hamstrings to really arch myself and engage my lower back because it just did it for me. Whereas when I started doing bodyweight planche sets for presses, I had to engage these whole different muscles that I've never like touched before with the band. And that's under my coach's training. And obviously I want to do planche presses as soon as possible without having a band and just spamming in the public like body weight. And it looks pretty good, but you can't learn how to cheat and you can't learn how to do it efficiently like how Valenti does it, like not clean, but like good enough so it looks like a press unless you do it body weight because it's just completely different.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to it.
Yeah.
You got to use it right, I think, for it to be beneficial.
Yeah. With bands, you just get better at a strict press. But with body weight, you get better at an efficient body weight press. With front lever, there's more give and take because I guess it's just like a really simple movement compared to the planche.
Yep. It's also different as well in the sense that you're talking about like the much harder progressions once you understand the feeling of planche, you understand generally the feeling of a press. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're getting into like more specifics which become much more important once you have planche, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta understand things though.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, to get better at muscle ups, you won't train banded muscle ups because it's different.
But to get the idea of how the initial muscle up might feel,
Yeah.
like we did with Anthony,
Yeah,
you just use it that one time or that few times just to understand,
Movement.
okay, this is what it's like to do a full muscle up and go over the bar. Then
yeah. But then what I would prescribe to someone like Anthony is for the strengthening part, then you use bands for high pulls. But definitely
Something funny?
Nah.
Definitely bands have their place.
Yeah, I never used them till I met you guys. I didn't realize that was a thing.
Yeah.
I just did front lever without him.
I mean, Marnie doesn't use it. Valentin uses it sometimes, but
He uses
that's
it the reverse
really,
though.
really lightweight.
Who's Marty?
Benjamin Serrano, Marnie.workout.
Oh, never heard.
Gun. I
Yeah,
didn't know who he was either until recently. Gun though.
he's
Picks
his
plucks
Jai's
random
coach.
names out of the air.
He's Jai's coach. He competed in SWAB before. He's in ISO. He's Mariano's
ISO.
training partner in Chile.
Yeah.
Plancher?
Planch
Cool.
and
He's Mariano's
Oliver.
training partner.
Hmm.
He better have bloody
Makes
good
sense.
pull if he's training with Mariano, bro.
Yeah, you can do like Victorian on rings.
Does Mariano rest when he trains push?
Yeah, right. But he
No,
doesn't.
just does all of it in reverse.
But no bands with that guy.
Oh, I think it's just different. You don't have to use bands, but you can if you want to. I see.
Yeah, I used it for my warm up.
Yeah, we do use them for warm up. I think we all do.
Yeah, I just think the optimal approach is to use
Bit of both.
all variations as much as possible.
Everything. Like I've done everything as well.
Do everything.
Do everything.
Do everything. Yeah.
And at the very least, you understand what works best for you after it all.
Mm.
So I'm only doing bodyweight now because I just spanned bands and found no progress.
Found no progress.
I did progress, but like
Different progression.
I just tried something new.
Yeah,
That's-
I would say I've gone through band phases, and I don't know if it's worked that well. Like I've noticed progress, but nothing too crazy. Now I haven't used bands in a while. Then again, I haven't been able to train planche much.
I feel like bands are more beneficial when you're maybe starting out with a hold. Like once you have the foundation, for example, front lever, you don't really need too much of the band to assist with other stuff.
It's also good because when you want to planche, you can chuck a band there, daydream, pretend the band's not there, and you can feel happy for once.
Nah, it doesn't happen like that. I don't feel happy when I feel a band around my waist.
Yeah, but
I just feel like I'm
there's
more
like a
shit 'cause I'm still
millisecond. There's
struggling.
like a second where you forget that it's there.
Oh, I don't,
Yeah, fair enough.
because I know
Right.
I know I can't do it and I'm doing it. So
Yeah,
I
must be
literally only used bands for planche training for like, I started in July and till like maybe August, September, just after we moved up here. I only used bands for planche training, and then I didn't use them at all. I didn't use bands like pretty much at all. I just used them to test like where I was, because I knew, okay, I could do like a full planche for how long on the black band. And then like 2 weeks later, I'd come back and then be like, okay, I can do like red band for like 1 second, whatever. And then sort of, so I could track my progression. But apart from that, even now, I pretty much don't use bands to train planche. I've done it like a couple times, handful of times in the last like 2 or 3 weeks, just to see again where I'm at with my progress. But all my behind the scenes planche training is just leans and tucks and advanced tucks. Don't even do straddle.
What are your thoughts on training ideologies in general? Because I tend to find we've noticed recently athletes which are all very strong and very good at the sport in their own way have very different ways of training and different advice. Some that's even conflicting.
Yeah.
What are your
So
thoughts?
um,
Because you got a coach recently, right? And he's given you certain tips, which seemed like they've worked really well, but they've been different to what other athletes have suggested.
yeah. So I mean, like Ristov, he is all about really strict movements and pressing, bicep external rotation, scapular depression. Valentin, he's more about volume and just combos, which is something that Hirosov doesn't do when he goes through with his clients. For Clement, he's got form differences, so no bicep external rotation, and scapulars aren't depressed; they're just neutral. But yeah,
We drive in the bus
Also,
or something.
so not this, like this,
yeah,
and
less of that.
not depressed, just neutral.
Yeah.
the bottom line is, and I was talking to Rice with this, Hugh, before the podcast, like everyone just goes off their experiences.
Mm.
Bunch of
Makes
different ways to
sense.
do it. Million ways to skin a cat.
But you can't just take something on board because of someone's experience. You have to go through your own experience as well.
See what works for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some things might, some things may.
That's what I said to you, Isaac, when I asked you what your recommendation would be for people in terms of getting a coach.
Yeah, for coaching.
Yeah.
Or till you just like
That was the point of why. Well, that was the conclusion. Was find out what other people have to find out what as many different people have to say about a particular thing. Take it all on board. Try it all out yourself. Find out what works best for you. Because say there's 50 different opinions or ways to do planche. If you want to find it out yourself without asking anyone else, it's going to take you bloody forever to figure out all those different 50 approaches to think about this and think about that and whatever. If you just go and ask those 50 people, they tell you, okay, try this, try this, try this. You try each one and then you go, okay, this one works best. And easy. You found what works for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just speed run the thing. That's what I've been doing.
Speedrunner.
So would you suggest someone get a coach?
I would say they could get a coach, but don't think it will fix everything. Like, because everyone's opinion.
So you might still get injured.
We may not progress as much because what they're teaching doesn't really work for you.
No, what I said to Isaac was, like, it seemed like he's at a point now where he's attempted all the different sort of approaches and had so much experience now in calisthenics. He's been training for 5 years. You get to a point where you're just out of options personally, you know what I mean? And you just need some more external input to kind of refresh you and give you a new perspective. Is that
yeah.
accurate?
I don't think there's one true way of progressing in calisthenics. I think there's 10 true ways, for example, of
Not
training.
specifically 10, but 10.
Yeah,
as
yeah, like
throwing a random number
multiple true ways of progressing. It just depends on you and what your body is capable of, your anatomy,
How it reacts to it.
your preferences, your schedule, the climate you're in, a whole bunch of factors, the equipment you use.
Do you think there's much bro science in calisthenics like there is in the gym?
Not really.
Like in the sense of using as an explanation that they think is right, but really doesn't make much sense at all.
You mean like something like a protein synthesis window, like 30 minutes?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Not really. All the information in calisthenics is very scattered.
Yeah, nothing's very clear.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, there's literally no calisthenics science, full stop, whether or
Yeah.
not it's bro related.
I feel like there isn't enough of it.
It's all just anecdotal.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Really?
could get someone to come along and get a large enough sample space, like train 1,000 clients and then record everything.
That was what I was going to say. It'll be super interesting, like the next 10 years, to see if calisthenics gets like research. What are you laughing at?
Well,
What are you giggling about?
to be fair, we do have a book over there that's
But no one's
the
read it.
chord.
Overcoming Gravity.
Overcoming Gravity. I've read portions of it, and that's uses science in
Yeah.
it.
That's that guy's own perspective anyways.
Yeah.
It's more gymnastics.
It's not
yeah.
like
Like even that is
It's-
bullshit.
Hmm?
Like even that book is bullshit, bro.
Do you reckon?
I feel like maybe once again certain things may.
because it's not a,
Exactly.
it's not a research project directly targeted to calisthenics. It's like other science manipulated to explain calisthenics. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Or I haven't read it, but I'm assuming that's what it
It
is.
doesn't even have a protracted planche in it.
Yeah, I was about to mention that. I was about to mention the diagram. The bloke's not even protracted.
Like there's a whole rabbit hole they can go into
Yeah.
about protraction and planche. Like there's a whole different
Literally.
ball game. And
What's
This-
that spinal thing called? You bend your spine.
kyphosis.
Yeah.
We just
I just heard about that the other day. I was like, yeah.
Should someone do a quick little demonstration?
Pretty close.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
tilt the camera down. I'll
This is protraction
turtle.
for people that don't know. being when you planche.
Yeah, and then there's like people like Valentine that says like
Normal?
you should protract, but you shouldn't be in kyphosis.
Mm.
Like Valentine, he says that protraction and kyphosis are two different things. And then also my coach is like, if you want to protract, you also got to introduce kyphosis. So
Yeah, better than scoliosis.
it's better than just putting a retracted planche on the book that has millions of copies.
I wouldn't say it's retracted. I'd say it's
It
Neutral.
wasn't protracted.
neutral.
Like even the neutral planche and the protracted planche is a massive difference, even in training methods as well.
Mm.
Oh my goodness, calisthenics, man.
A bit complicated, eh?
It just looks so much hotter when you have a curve on your back.
It's like a turtle shell.
Upper back. Curve on the upper back.
Mid
That's
back.
part of your back, isn't it?
Yeah, upper.
So I was right.
But Levon says you
Well, I
want to.
just pictured some kyphotic bloke.
Levon says you want the curve in your
Yeah, it's a
mid
word.
back. Levon says you want the curve in your mid back, not upper back. That's why you've used his perfect form.
I guess everyone has a different opinion on
He did it. He did a story post
His
about him.
forms, his planches look great though.
Yeah,
I got him on my computer screen.
yeah.
Looks great.
In the story that he put up like 2 months ago, he was rating people's form, and like he kept on saying, definitely curve on the mid back, not the upper back.
Okay, here we go. Protracted planche, neutral planche, kyphotic planche. Throw the three up. We're gonna have a debate.
Throwing a lot of stuff on the screen today.
We're gonna have a debate.
What's the timestamp?
I don't know what it is,
Yeah.
but let's see. What do you think?
Can't see.
Which one is the most aesthetic? Which one do you like looking at the most?
Wait, so say
So
them
all the
again.
options?
Say them again.
Protracted planche, neutral, so flat, and then the third is kyphotic. Well, one with kyphosis. So like, would you say Levon?
Yeah, Levon.
Like,
So
or
bend
like
in the
over
middle back.
protracted. People would say it's
I
over
guess like
protracted.
Jowie would be like kyphotic, I guess.
Basically, which level of protraction?
And who's neutral? Skylux, Carlos.
Some
Should you
gymnast.
throw a cheeky retracted one in there as well?
Nah, we don't want to see that.
Oh, I was gonna name
Retracted. All right, retracted, neutral, protracted, kyphotic.
I was gonna name drop. I had to bite my tongue there. I was gonna name drop a plancher.
Moving on.
Arguable. I think we're all thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
If you have any form of planche, be worried that we're talking about you.
I used to retract and planche. I still retract and planche. It's so hard to protract, bro.
yeah, it's a difficult bit.
Well, it's a strength thing, right? Eventually, you just get strong enough that if you want to, you can over protract, but you don't. But until you get to that stage, you're either mildly protracted or even not protracted enough. But
Yeah.
Work
Just get
towards it.
strong.
the stronger you get, the more you kind of increase that.
In order to achieve the planche, it has to take over your mind before.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely
Yeah, like
it's
Isaac's
absolutely
gone crazy.
9.5 months.
engulfed my mind.
9 months and 21 days.
Literally.
Yeah, like you got to be at a point where your seat's all the way back and your chair's inclined, and
Driving like
maybe
this
you
in
can
the car.
and you're leaning all the way forward,
Oh, I did it today.
and you're false
actually.
gripping the steering wheel. You false grip every door you walk through.
The cup of coffee. False
Yeah.
grip.
Nah,
Yeah.
steering wheel one's a good one. I enjoy that one.
Oh, I was preaching that when I was in Sydney.
I used to
I'll
like, I
drive
used to
so
like
much of it.
train that on my long drives when I was working. It's like false grip for as long as I can. Just try to
Oh,
build it
false
from
grip?
insurance. Yeah.
I'll just put the seat back as far as it goes so that I was like reaching for the steering wheel. So the steering wheel's so far in front of you that you have to like reach.
You would look like an idiot driving.
Yeah, well, I don't
You know what's
care. I
also
don't care
really
what I look like.
interesting?
Yeah.
The contradiction between form in calisthenics versus the gym. So in bodybuilding,
Oh,
and I guess powerlifting as well, you could say, it's always retract, have your chest out, shoulders down and back,
yeah, wrap that one around your head.
arch. Yeah, I guess so. Arch spine. And I was a PT as well, so I would always preach it myself. But in calisthenics, retraction is almost not a bad thing, but it's almost advised against.
Different though.
And the moves, I guess, the moves you do in calisthenics are it's more beneficial to be protracted.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
more difficult to have that as well.
Mm.
But that's because I guess most of the moves you're pushing upside down.
Well, the bottom line is the muscles that you use in calisthenics is so much different.
Hey, what are you
compared
doing
to
over
the gym.
there? Sorry.
The muscles that you use in calisthenics is so much different than you use in the gym for a whole variety of reasons.
I feel like when it comes to calisthenics, using more muscles at once
Yeah.
rather than isolating.
Because all compound exercises, like even when I do planche, I'm using my pulling muscles. Like, and even when I do pull, I use my pushing muscles. Like you activate like triceps sometimes when you do front lever.
Technical difference.
go on.
You can put it back on the stand.
Oh, you don't even need to put it back on the stand. I just realised.
Who's Stan?
What the hell happened?
Flat Stanley.
Flat Stanley.
Why we stop talking?
What do you guys think when it comes to? I was thinking about this the other day. When it comes to idols in the Cali industry, I feel like they're not as prevalent or as mainstream as, say, for example, bodybuilding idols. Like when it comes to like seeing C-Bump everywhere, no matter kind of what industry, and you kind of know
Say
who he is.
C-Bump.
I did. C-Bump. I feel like they're not as prevalent. They're not as prevalent compared to like calisthenics idols. Like they're not as mainstream as well. I feel like that's just Cali's a little bit small, but I feel like there isn't that many big Cali people that really stand out outside of the Cali community.
Daniel License, bro. Have you ever seen his vlogs? There you go. Well, even you see it, then you idolize him.
I feel like it's just not as common. Like everyone,
Yeah, because the sport is smaller,
Yeah.
much smaller than bodybuilding in the gym.
But people that know, it's Daniel License, man. He's like everyone's idol. Back when you train Cali from like 2016, 2018, he'd like do all these vlogs, like going traveling and doing calisthenics with the boys. But because he stopped making vlogs when you started training,
Yeah, that's
then
when I started
then you wouldn't know him.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
feel like there
before
isn't
my
anyone big like
time
that.
in calisthenics.
But only the people that do YouTube videos become idolized.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Because long format is more personal.
Good, still
Not
working.
many people do YouTube videos in calisthenics.
Yeah, fair enough. That's a valid point. I just thought I couldn't think of any massive ones that kind of branch out of the industry and have an impact on people.
What's happened with when you're making a video?
Yeah.
You still making it?
No.
Why not?
Busy.
Oh, you just put it on hold.
Pause button.
Yeah. Yeah, fair.
Got a couple other ones to make.
Yeah, just busy.
Busy.
Good way to be.
Rather be busy than not busy.
Have you noticed you're like way busier since we moved here?
That was the goal, bro.
Isn't that the whole reason we...
Just answer the question.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Now, the best thing I love about moving up here is everyone's like, you may be lazy one day, and then someone comes in and is like, hey, why the fuck aren't we doing this?
It's like impossible.
Which is good. Keeps you accountable. The day that you're lazy.
Mm.
Like today with the...
Some more than others.
What do you think about video games? I think we mentioned it in a practice podcast, but I don't think we said it in the real one.
As in like...
Have we?
What do
Oh no, we
think
did
of?
talk about it in like the very first one. But we should definitely retouch on the subject.
Not a fan. And this come from someone that
Plays a lot.
used to play ridiculous amounts when I was younger.
I played a decent amount. I'm not a fan of it anymore.
Yeah, neither.
Yeah, I thought it was a big waste of time. Now, looking back at it, I could have planche by now if I didn't.
It's not really translatable to any other
Yeah.
facet of your life.
Well, like I got to a point where I was just playing. You play for a couple of hours after school or after work, and you're like, okay, now what? Got nothing out of it for me
Yeah.
personally. I thought it was a bit of a waste.
Blake had a stance on it. That was the first reel about how your desire to win in games and getting micro victories translates to you doing well in another facet of life.
Yeah.
I can see that.
But that nature that you may have in gaming can be evident in every facet of your life. It's not particularly applicable to gaming in general. So still wouldn't say it's as a result of gaming itself.
Yeah. Guess the thing with calisthenics though is you do get achievements like in games, but it's completely unique. So you actually unlock a specific skill. Whereas in bodybuilding, you see very minuscule changes in your body. And the achievements you get is like up a weight, which is from an exercise that you've done repetitively over the few months. Yeah,
In games, you unlock a new character or a special power.
Yeah, so in calisthenics, when you unlock something, it's like a special skill, something that you've never like been able to do before, like a different progression or like a different dynamic move. But in bodybuilding, you just go up a weight, or you don't
Some
really
people
see.
like that though.
Yeah, but that's not what it's about. It's like the game aspect, you know.
I feel like it's just like leveling up.
Do you actually enjoy that though?
I can see how people would enjoy it. I remember when I did gym for a little bit, I did enjoy it. I was like, oh, getting stronger.
Are you talking about gym?
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
yeah. As in progressing in rather than instead of progressing in like forms and movements, you progress in weight.
Yeah, I used to gym for like
Yeah.
2 years, and it was
Yeah.
always satisfying. But the progress I made in gym during newbie stages, I made heaps of progress. But then I'd say
Plateaued
after
a
the
bit.
first 6 months, the progress was significantly slower. But in calisthenics, I've been training 2+ years now, and the progress has always been extremely consistent. It's haven't really plateaued at all. There's always been an area where I've been improving in.
Too hot.
Time step. What's the time step?
58,
Do it,
Are
turn
we-
it off.
58:20.
Cool.
Wait, what happened?
No, never mind. Doesn't concern you. It's all
Don't
good.
worry. Sorted.
You'll break your mind.
There's a little switch on the top.
Is it too warm?
Go to the hot variety.
No, I actually retract my statement. Do you believe it's easy to see micro wins when you're bodybuilding, not in calisthenics, because there's a longer timeline when it comes to calisthenics. But my experience with that has been different because I don't just do calisthenics. I do all aspects of calisthenics plus bodybuilding plus weightlifting.
What's up with you?
So like when I do calisthenics, I do weighted, I do dynamics, and I do skills. And within the skills, then I have front lever, I have planche, I got handstands, and also the aesthetics proportion of it, and then like other fitness aspects. So when you say newbie gains, like you get mad progress, and then after 6 months you start slowing down. I typically like shuffle my training based off that, except for this year because I'm just dead on planche. I really want to get planche. But the past 4 years I've been training, I'll do like basics and I get lots of progress in like increased pull-up reps. My physique gets better. And then I'll shuffle over to skill work and I'll get these skills and I start digressing. Then I'll change to weighted, get more. Then I'll do dynamics and I'll change that up and everything. But through that method, I found like the most optimal amount of dopamine rush because I get skills plus the micro progress with newbie phase that you'd find in bodybuilding. So I found that really successful for me.
Yeah, I agree.
I would object to a statement you mentioned earlier about how there's more micro wins in bodybuilding. I would argue and say there's far more micro wins in calisthenics because there's so many little intricate things you can do. Whereas, say, if you're doing a bench press, the only real way to measure your progress is being able to lift more weight. Whereas, like in calisthenics, is there's a new skill I've tried, new skill I've got. There's an extra rep I've done. There's a new move which I've now been able to do, or now I've progressed from a straddle to a full front lever, or maybe I've done finger handstands instead of normal handstands.
As in different variations of.
Yeah, many
Many
different
holds, yeah.
variations.
Yeah, that's also true.
I feel like there's
It's
more
just
levels
confusing.
in calisthenics. Like there's more levels to unlock rather than in the
I
gym.
need
It's
to think
more-
about this a little bit more.
bit more structured.
I just hate bodybuilding, eh?
You made that clear in our last
Yeah,
Plus-
snippets.
Yeah.
couple of snippets that were uploaded, which caused a little bit of controversy,
A couple opinions out there about that.
which is good.
Mhm.
A bit of stimulated talk and discussion.
Mm.
Too many people arguing about stuff they don't know.
Calisthenics is just better.
I'm better.
I like Cali. I think, to be honest, I think it's at least when it comes to strength and style, I like calisthenics the most. But it's like still strict
Bro, I'm gonna-
strength. I'm still a fan of gymnastics. When it comes
Dude,
to
I'm
that.
literally gonna like planche my way into my coffin. Like when they're like, "All right, get in the coffin
be
now."
two holes
Like
for your hands to come out
you're
the
pretty
bottom.
much you're about to pass out, like pass away. I'll be like, "Yeah, no worries." Like boom, P bar planche on the coffin, and then lower myself in, and then I'm dead, and that's it. That's how I'll go.
It's an interesting way to go. At least you'll be happy.
Yeah,
I've touched on this before, but it's like the archetype that you build for yourself. Like when you look at TV shows or video games, you have like the bulky character that has muscle but is like more slower. Whereas we're kind of training for like that ninja archetype that's like, has more speed, more stealth.
there's a video game that describes what you just mentioned perfectly. I forgot the name.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah, I know that one
disappointed.
as
Oh,
well.
that one.
The
That's a good one, eh?
yeah, I
Played that
forgot
for
what
a
it's
little
called.
bit.
Now I'm gonna be fighting with myself to figure out what it's called. Anyways,
Yeah, right.
I'm guessing it's got like some ninjas in it and like some fat people.
yeah, the main character's I think a raccoon.
Huh?
It's like a cartoon
Guardians of
game.
the Galaxy.
Nah,
Crash. Oh, Ratchet and Clank.
what's it called? Nah, it's like similar
Yeah.
to that, but not.
Crash Bandicoot.
Nah.
Bro, that is one character in it.
Huh?
Crash, the Bandicoot.
Anywho,
It'll come to him eventually.
yeah.
Anywho, the difference is that bodybuilders aren't warriors.
Warriors.
Oh, well, because
Powerlifters
Isaac
are.
was saying that like we're training for like that ninja archetype, and then there's like the bodybuilding is like more like the bulky, like
Yeah.
warrior, but it's just bulky. You're not really a warrior.
Powerlifters are more the
You
bulky
can just
warrior.
like you can just like pick stuff up a little bit.
It's more
You
aesthetics.
could argue that
Bodybuilding's more
they're
aesthetics.
probably more proficient in one particular avenue where we can be more proficient in multiple avenues. I could be like, all right, go run a marathon. We're more likely to succeed there. Or go,
Or anything else except picking up a weight.
yeah, that was the point I was getting at.
Yeah.
Just wanted to clarify.
Go run up a wall or go get from point A to point B as quickly as possible. Oh, yeah. That'll be our expertise.
Yeah, or some Cali athletes, I feel like some
But then lift
don't know their
physical,
legs.
lift physical weight. Yeah,
It's
that'll
still not
beat
too
us.
bad though. I feel like if you
Well-
do all right in Cali, you know,
Well, we've got
Weak.
efficiency on them because for them to be really strong, they tend to have to be quite large.
Mm.
Whereas us,
Well,
we're extremely
Relative
strong.
strength.
Yeah, our relative strength is through the roof. Their absolute strength is more than us, of course.
Yeah.
But
But that's not
relative
really
to our body weight, we're borderline supernatural. Or
relative,
at least the
relative strength
sport athletes.
is more of an achievement than absolute strength.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's a
But
far more significant achievement than absolute strength.
well, I feel like on the higher end of
Depends
absolute
how you
strength, it's pretty
categorize it.
impressive.
Yeah, compared to the higher end of relative strength, I disagree.
hey, I'll play devil's avocado
Go on.
here. I'll play his role.
Go on,
But
both of y'all.
you
Yeah,
could
I was-
say,
I wanted to jump
for
on that.
example, right? For example, say a power lifter.
Mm.
For someone to lift, say,
Half a
for
ton.
example, the heaviest deadlift ever.
Mm.
That guy's got the heaviest deadlift in the world, but then you can't really say, oh, this guy here, he's got the highest relative strength in the world. Unless I guess you could say if you're doing bodyweight dips or weighted chin-ups. No, not bodyweight dips. Weighted dips or weighted chin-ups, you could arguably say. But
Can because relative strength, you can still lift. You can still lift external weights with relative strength. It's
There's
just
still
relative to
powerlifters.
your body weight.
Powerlifters are world records based on their
weight
Yeah,
class.
weight
so,
class,
power,
yeah.
so
That's true.
So with
Yeah.
powerlifting, the heaviest deadlift is still. You can still measure it in relative strength. It's not only absolute strength, and there would be a. I think the element of relative strength in a power lift is far more impressive and a far more significant achievement
Mm.
than the element of absolute strength.
yeah, when you see like a skinny bloke deadlift hella weight, That's
Well,
far
yeah.
more impressive than some massive bloke with a massive guard just like waddling over and be like,
Yeah.
he starts bleeding on the way up.
I think it all depends. Like, I think when it does come to relative strength, everyone's kind of in their own category. So it's not too many people focus on other people in that category, in the other categories. They're like, you don't really care about the 80 kilo guy that can lift a lot. You only care about people your weight that can lift relative. Rather than being at the higher end, everyone kind of just sees the top.
I'd argue the opposite.
I don't think I'm really paying attention to.
Because in absolute strength, your weight doesn't matter. So then you have to externally categorize it. Otherwise,
And what's that
it's
measurement?
unfair.
What's that measurement?
What do you mean?
What do you
Like
measure
you were
it in?
talking about like categories and stuff. You're only
Yeah.
interested in people that are your weight. Well, in absolute strength, you would be, because you can't focus on people that are heavier than you, because that's a factor that affects the absolute strength.
And what's the calculations for like X amount of weight absolute wise?
Like you can
impressive
increase
to
your
lift
Splitting
this
into
much.
weight classes.
Yeah,
you
that's what I'm saying.
exactly. So it's an external factor that you have to apply to absolute strength. Whereas with relative strength, it doesn't matter if you're 200 kilos, if you're 100 kilos, if you're 50 kilos, you can compare yourself to anyone.
And
Because-
how do
because
you
all have some element of relative strength?
Yeah, and my point just with that is like, if you're 50 kilos and you're lifting 100, how much weight does a 70 kilo man have to lift for it to be the same?
The same ratio. That's what relative
The
strength
ratio,
is.
yeah. Okay, that's what I was
So
going at.
if it's double, then it's double. If you lift 100 kilos and you're 50 kilos, then if you're 70 kilos, you lift 140.
Yeah, okay.
But that's what I mean. That's way more impressive than just being like, oh yeah, I'm 200 kilos and I can lift 200 kilos. Because that's the thing. This is why I think it's more impressive, relative strength, because you actually have to employ very specific and rigorous training to achieve relative strength. Whereas with absolute strength, there are a multitude of ways that you can increase your absolute strength. That being like just raw weight gain, like literally just put on weight. And your
Yeah,
absolute
just putting
strength
on
will-
pure weight will increase your strength
yeah,
quite a bit.
will increase your absolute strength, but it won't increase your relative strength. It will decrease it.
Yeah.
So you have to be far more rigorous to achieve the.
That's a good point, actually, because you can't just be naturally gifted in terms of relative strength. Like, you have to acquire it, whereas
Yeah.
you can be naturally very strong.
But
You're a
it's
big
harder when
guy,
you're heavier. Like
just
if
be
you're naturally a
strong.
big bloke, it's hard to get better at relative strength. 'Cause it's just harder the bigger you get. It goes down, like you were saying.
That's if you're doing
So it's
something
more,
like
it's
calisthenics.
more an
That's-
advantage to the smaller
No.
bloke.
That's if you get bigger in the process. If you get bigger, then it becomes harder. Not if you're already bigger, because if you're already bigger, you're already stronger.
Yeah, there's
It's-
like 100 kilo plus blokes that can planche it. They exist.
I know, I find it very, very
It's
impressive.
only like if you're 50 kilos and you get to 60, or if you're 60 kilos and you get to 70, then your relative strength will decrease just because you weigh more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotcha.
But your absolute strength will increase. And so just like, all right, go put on 10 kilos. Wow, so impressive. Your absolute strength increased. No, not impressive. Your relative strength decreased.
I still find it impressive.
Oh, it's still impressive, just nowhere near as impressive as relative strength. Like Anatoly.
Anatoly and Larry Wheels, that YouTube video. Like he was doing the same weight as Larry for,
Yeah,
his,
it's
for his
crazy.
training.
Anatoly is far more impressive. I case my rest.
So,
He also
Anatoly versus Larry, what was the weight difference? And they were lifting the same weight, you said?
I don't know, about like 20 kilos.
20 kilos difference. Do you know the weight of each, roughly?
Nah,
Yeah, fair.
they have it on the video.
Anatoly would be like
Yeah.
what?
Anatoly's
70
whole
something.
gig is sleeper build in the gym.
Yeah.
And Larry Wheels is all
Men's not sleeping, men's awake.
muscles, guns firing.
Awake.
It's just
build.
different. They train for different stuff.
Yeah.
Larry trains for size. Anatoly trains for strength.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, it is.
What are your thoughts on PTs that don't take their training seriously? I don't know why. It's just popped into my head.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it depends. Like when you think of like as in like an unfit PT coaching people,
Yeah, you could say that, yeah.
I think it's dependent on the coach. Like for example, like when it comes to say for example boxing coaches, not necessarily the most physical, but it's more about the knowledge that's important. So I feel like it just depends on the person.
But
when
then
it comes
again,
to
you
that.
could argue that that coach they probably went through a phase in their life where they were extremely fit and they competed at various levels or whatever it may be. Like, for example, if I'm doing jiu-jitsu, my jiu-jitsu coach, he needs to, obviously he's going to be a black belt, but I need to know that he was competing in the past or whatnot. So he's been through, say, what I would want to go through or challenge myself with.
So you're saying maybe as long as they've done it in the past, they don't have to be at that level now?
For general PT, I would say no, but like in an instance of like, say boxing, that's different because it's a very technique-based sport.
I think with PDs, although it's a service industry, it's just like picking a product. So do you want to pay less but then have someone that's less qualified, or do you want to pay more and have someone that's gone through everything that you want to go through and they'll teach you on that basis? If you're gonna go for a PT that has like a bit of a chubby build, but you're trying to go for weight loss, then you'd expect to get a certain result, right? If they don't have any previous experience with clients and you're just judging off by them. But if you have like a PT who shows you transformation of them going from skinny to fat, or going from fat to skinny and then back to fat, then I guess a different story. But I guess you just get what you pay for. But bottom line, yeah.
Who would you go to, or what would you look for in a person that you go to for advice on anything?
They have to have done exactly what I'm trying to achieve in whatever avenue it is that I'm
Or close
needing
to.
assistance
So if
in.
you want to ask someone for advice on a specific topic, you're going to look for experience, right? And success.
Yeah, experience and proficiency. Yeah.
Specificity as well.
So in the case of a PT, if they're wearing their success in the sense that they're fit, then you don't really have to go digging to prove that they know what they're talking about, right? Doesn't mean that someone who doesn't look like they've had success can't have the understanding and the knowledge behind it. Maybe they've just been a PT for a really, really long time and they understand how everything works and whatever, and they can tell someone else how to do it. They just don't do it themselves. Doesn't mean that they're going to do a worse job just because they're not as fit, but it's a lot easier to prove and justify going to someone for advice if they're fit, you know what I mean? For fitness.
Yeah.
For fitness advice.
I think if there's a fat PT, it doesn't just mean that they're good at fitness. It means they're a pretty good salesman or saleswoman.
Well, it definitely doesn't mean they're good at fitness.
Yeah, but like
yeah,
you don't
sales,
really
I guess,
need
yeah.
that because they're just selling to the client that I can get you the results, these results, and they just issue the product to them. And if they get the results and they use that transformation, they show it to another client. Say, hey, I got you this. Then if you train with me, then I'll get you
The same result.
Yeah, the same result. So I mean, if they're fat and they're walking around, yeah, they might not be good on their part, but it just means that they know how to train. If they stay in this industry for that long, but they're fat, then
They know what they're doing.
yeah, they know what they're doing.
I feel like if you're fat and you don't know what you're doing, you won't last that long.
Yeah, it's like they have to almost do extra for their clients.
Or their clientele or their target audience is just dumb.
Yeah.
That's why you have to go deep.
But that's why they're PT, because you're not gonna get a PT if you're smart.
Yeah.
It's supply and demand. I mean, if they're there, they're there.
I reckon
Then they're there.
I reckon fat loss coaching is a scam. Here's why.
Speak.
So a PT, right? Say you're a PT and you're specializing in fat loss. Someone comes in to the gym and they want your help. You're going to see them, okay, let's say on average, maybe, I'll just say twice a week, you train with them. Fat loss is ultimately going to come down to what you put in your mouth. So 99% of the time, they're not going to be with you, and what they're doing in the gym with you isn't necessarily going to affect how you eat. Sure, maybe what they say to you and how they have an impact on you could affect maybe your mindset, but training them has a very little impact on the ultimate fat loss goal, because the vast majority of it is food. Doesn't matter how hard they train, unless they're running marathons, they're not going to get their fat loss goal if they're not eating less food. And then I find it very funny as well when someone, say an overweight client, wants to lose weight and then they get sick for a bit and they lose like 5 kilos or more. They've literally just been bedridden, haven't done anything, and they've gotten to their target goal quicker than when they were actually putting in effort.
I'm gonna play
just a
devil's
joke.
avocado.
Yeah, I was gonna
Go.
same.
Yeah.
Please do.
Avils d'avocado.
Yeah. I mean, the big part of PT is accountability as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Accountability. I feel
So
like
if it takes $100 a week for you to lose weight, go for it. If that's the investment you have to make in order to do it and get someone to push you to do it whilst also providing information, then I think it's a worthwhile
Short-lived
investment.
though, because when you are no longer paying that money, so you get to your goal, many people just go back to where they were.
Yeah.
And
But-
you need to find the change within. You can't
Mm.
get that from
well, it's
someone
help
like
when
that.
someone. It's easier to find that change when you're surrounded by good motivation for it.
Well, they'll also say if you're fat, you probably deserve it anyways.
I thought you were playing devil's advocate. I thought you were on their side.
Take
No.
and now compare that.
no,
I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm not saying I am a devil's
I feel-
avocado. I'm just
Now
playing.
compare that to, say, you go into your coach for calisthenics help. His coaching is actually going to affect your training, right? Because there's a very specific way you must train in calisthenics to progress in the sport. When it comes to fat loss, you could be doing deadlifts, or you could be doing squats, or you could be twiddling your thumbs, or you could be doing handstands, or you're going for a jog around the park. At the end of the day, it comes down to what you put in your mouth. So that's what's going to affect you. So you could be going for jogs, or you could say be doing bicep curls and only training arms in the gym, and then you lose weight. Oh, it's working. Well, no, it's because you're training one area which has a very minuscule impact
Yeah.
on your overall fat loss. But with your training, everything that you're actually doing with this coach is targeted specifically towards what
So
your
you're
goal is.
comparing a fat person to me, because I'm chasing a coach because of a knowledge gap.
Yeah.
They're chasing a coach.
Well, it could be knowledge as well. They need guidance.
Could be many reasons.
Yeah.
I feel like when it comes to that though, just because they get sick and they lose weight doesn't mean it is healthy in that regards. Like you still need to maintain some muscle strength, and it's good to improve your cardiovascular system when you're training and losing weight. So I think that even though diet is the main key factor when it does come to losing weight, I feel like training is still important.
But,
They
but
do need that guidance from the PT to keep them active and keep them motivated on
fat.
that side.
do you think they're motivated enough to actually chase up knowledge? They're fat.
They're going to a PT.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe they found that switch and they want to
They're,
make the
they're
change.
fat for a reason. They don't know how to lose weight because they don't care.
That's why they went to a PT.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like
I've never understood people that don't enjoy activity.
everyone's different.
Just never been able to
It's 'cause
wrap it
you-
around my head.
Bro, I think it's just a
Enjoy it.
wormhole. I think it's just this happened in COVID, bro.
Once you get the bug.
Once you get so detached from something that you used to enjoy to the point where you forget how much you used to enjoy it, then it just loses its appeal. You know what I mean? Like I would play football every single day as much as I could before, like I got injured, but like say for example during COVID, you can't go outside. Then it's like, well, it gets to a certain point where you just like haven't done it for so long, you forgot how fun it was to do. And then it's not that you don't enjoy it or you wouldn't enjoy it if you did it. You just don't.
That also comes down to stagnation as well. When you're stagnant for
inertia.
so long,
It's inertia.
yeah, the opposite of stagnation.
What?
Hmm?
No.
But it's like,
Stagnation and inertia are the same thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Inertia is
okay, no, I guess
resistance
so.
to change. So
yeah.
if you're doing activity
I was thinking.
all the
Sorry,
time,
I was thinking in the literal sense of like moving.
Stagnant as
oh
in
no,
not
well
movement.
the inertia is
Yeah.
both. It's just the resistance
Yeah.
to change. So if you're moving, say for example, if you're in that lifestyle where you're constantly active and that's what you do, then it's the resistance to change is changing that lifestyle and becoming a
Yeah.
bum, a fat bum. But then if you're a fat bum, then the resistance to change is the other way around.
Yeah.
So it's like whatever you're doing, you just kind of become more comfortable doing that.
It goes back to games. Like there'll be a time when games was my lifeblood. I can't live a day without doing something on the phone or on the computer. Now it's fine.
Hard, bro. I used to dream about video games, like
Yeah.
bit at
Used to
school, and I
fake
just
sick-
dreaming about like getting home, turn on the console.
Or even just fake being sick in primary school and just playing Minecraft all day.
Oh,
We're just playing Clash of Clans in class.
Man.
oh yes.
You know, that's how we
Bro, that's
first
how we
met.
met. We were playing Clash of Clans in class.
true.
Mate, I love Lamp.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Clan Wars.
man.
It just depends. Depends where you're at. That answer your question?
Yeah, I don't remember what I asked, mate. But yeah, I guess so.
Inertia's so interesting.
Mm.
Because it's whatever you surround yourself with as well.
We went into a lot of depth with that with Anthony.
I wasn't there for that one.
What do we go in depth about?
Or just motivation, just discipline, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Really, okay. For inertia, what?
Nothing, go. Yeah.
What's
Giggling
funny?
because we'll be quiet.
Nah, I could see his brain cooking.
Yeah, I'm just trying to process. So with inertia, you have the resistance to change, right? Change being the factor, like the flip side.
Yep.
What happens if you become like used to change all the time?
Like, as in you want to go back and
Mm.
forth?
Because this is what you were talking. You've spoken about this on the podcast.
Yeah, I love
You
change.
love change.
Mm.
Yeah, so then you have a resistance to not be constantly changing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so you could say that.
It's like an inertia within the
I have an-
inertia itself. But that's
So
like
I have
the
an
hack.
inertia for not changing.
Yeah. So you can't not change because
Yeah.
you change all the time. You're so used to changing.
I noticed massively, but
Biggest hack, because then you can't get stuck in anything bad. You might not get stuck in good stuff as much, but like not necessarily you, just in general. But you know for certain that you're never going to get stuck in that bad thing because you're just constantly
Keep switching it up.
addicted to change. It becomes so easy. You see anything that's wrong with your life or whatever,
Mm.
fix it instantly because you love the change.
this is
Right.
why I low key wouldn't mind it if by the end of this 6-month lease they're like, oh nah, you can't renew.
Yeah.
As much as this place is great, a part of me would be like a new adventure.
Mm.
I long that.
Yeah.
I think I've said it before. I wouldn't be surprised if you just wake up one day and were like, I'm going Bali. Never come back.
I've thought
Wouldn't-
about
wouldn't-
it.
wouldn't
Thought about it
cross
many.
my mind.
I've thought about it many a time.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Actually, the only thing holding me back from literally just flying immediately over to a foreign country is Valenti, the brand.
That's what I was going to say.
I want to
Mm.
create this brand and create a legacy in calisthenics, and it just makes sense to be
Yeah.
in Australia for now.
Yeah.
Or at least in one spot for a little bit. While we
To
get
be
the ball
fair, if
rolling.
I could say score a job in Spain where it's still just as flexible as what I'm doing now, and I can continue what we're doing here, then I would take it. Something to think about. But
Yeah.
It's interesting to think that we're on such an interesting path now.
Yeah, a bit spicy, eh?
Very. Not that I enjoy spice whatsoever, but
Path
Interesting.
Path of the strong. Way of the
Interesting.
mindset.
so I just had to get
Yeah,
out of Sydney,
yeah.
bro.
Or it's
that-
good to
but-
mix it up.
yeah, that was it. Because we were talking about this on the way back from the trip we did the other day to the waterfall.
Mm.
How? Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
We said,
You gonna elaborate? I wasn't.
well, I thought Tyler was going to, but I
I
can't.
thought, no, you can.
Yeah, you can, or
Oh.
you can. One
Thought you had
is
the ball rolling with it.
No, because he said that, and I think you've said this as well. It just feels like a permanent holiday here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
And it's never going to not feel like we're on a permanent holiday anymore.
Unless we change back.
You
which I
realize
don't
that?
think we'll-
Unless we decide that we want to
Mm.
move back in home
Yeah.
and like pretend that none of this
go
ever happened.
homeless before. I
But
do
it's
that.
like no matter where we go now, as long as we're doing all of this stuff and like on the same path, it's just never gonna not.
Honestly,
feel the
like
same.
it actually wouldn't even really matter where we were as long as
Yeah,
there was
that's right.
something new that we're
That's-
doing.
that's
I
what I
would
mean.
I feel
feel happy.
like the reason it does feel like a holiday is because we're doing what we want to do. You know what I mean? We're not doing stuff that we really don't want to do day in, day out.
Yeah.
Like outside of work, we're doing what
Yeah.
we want to
And
work on.
because
so
we have
we enjoy
brotherhood.
it. Yeah, we enjoy it, you know?
It's also mostly because of our mindset and our capabilities as well. Because we do calisthenics, we can literally do it anywhere, anytime, and we bring excitement to every place that we go, whether it be a waterfall or to like a Halloween party, or just to the beach. Like
To a festival.
to a festival. We bring excitement everywhere we go because that's just the lifestyle. And then plus our entrepreneurial mindsets. Like there's excitement to be had anywhere in the world. So with all that combined, that's pretty much what Via Valenti is. It's the way of the mighty. Constant improvement. Being a sick cunt.
That's what everyone should aspire to achieve.
Yeah.
Is the feeling of a permanent holiday.
Yeah.
Like, because literally, the whole concept of holiday is so ridiculous. Like the generic holiday, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna work 48 weeks of a year and be like a brain dead zombie at work, to then just get 4 weeks where I can go away and celebrate and pretend like I don't have the most
Miserable
numbing.
life.
miserable
It's
life.
so
and
true.
then-
I've
and then
never
just go
even
back
thought-
to it.
For example, when I went to Thailand and worked over there, I didn't think that was a holiday.
Yeah,
Just thought it was just gonna go over there, work from there for a bit.
literally. And we're literally working full time.
I think
Work.
like every single week is a holiday.
Yeah,
Even when I'm in Sydney, because like we'd go out on the location and they'll absolutely mog it.
Yeah.
I never once think, man, I need a holiday soon. No,
Back in Sydney, I
like
did.
when, but that's most people. That's like the everyday person. Oh,
yeah.
been so stressed recently. I need to have a holiday.
I feel like if you're not doing a lot outside of your normal work regime, that is a big, big
true.
thing. So like back for when I was working full time in and out, I feel like I needed a holiday because that's all I was doing.
Yeah.
You know, I get home, wake up early, get home late, train, and that was all I would do.
Yeah, I'm not coming at you specifically, but like the people that went to Europe, I was just like, I saw so many people like they get back and then they're like, oh, okay, I can't wait for the next holiday, and they have to wait a whole year until the next Europe
Yeah.
trip, where they go for like 3 weeks or 4 weeks.
The way
And
I
was
look
just-
at
I was
it
like, fuck.
is, I don't even want to go. I don't want to take a few weeks off and just not work at all.
Yeah, no way.
I want to be constantly doing shit
Yeah.
and making sure I'm productive. Like, don't get me wrong. I like, as long as I'm out and adventuring and doing
Yeah.
exciting shit and having new experiences, then it's okay to
Yeah.
take, a bit of time off. But even then,
Yeah.
like say for example, during the day, I want to go check out a waterfall. Okay, at night, I want to be spending that time doing some work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we lead such adventurous lives outside of work every single day. Like yesterday, we went to that
How
abandoned
mad
building.
was that?
Yeah,
We haven't even talked about that, eh?
yeah.
Dude, that was
fun.
so good.
Felt like I was breaking my roots back in the day.
Yeah, I was like, that's what I was. Ivan was like, "Oh, how was tonight when he
Yeah.
when he left?" And I was like, "Mate, that was like a blast from the past.
Yeah.
Took me
Yeah.
back."
Yeah.
Dude, I was so keen to get in that building, eh? Like if you were down, if you guys were down, I would have climbed in the elevator shaft.
risky. And with my injury, like I don't want to climb an
Yeah.
elevator shaft.
Yeah, yeah, of
Did you
course.
guys,
No, no,
did you guys get
I'm not-
footage of it? I really want
I'm
to
not
see what it
blaming
looked
yous.
It wasn't as wet.
It was too
Would've
dark,
been more
eh?
compelling.
If I knew like if I had a torch on me,
Yeah.
could have
Damn.
better footage.
So
But,
curious to see because Tyler was like, "Oh yeah, we couldn't get in because it was just an open
Yeah,
elevator."
we're
shaft."
looking and we're like, damn, this has been shut off with a metal plate, this window.
Yeah.
And then we like crawled around and it was literally the side of a building and a ledge
It was
and then just a
pretty
massive
sketchy.
fall.
I
like
told
we're
him
like
to be careful.
going. It's
Like-
like, something
Wait.
from fucking Tomb Raider, bro.
And so
Like
it
we're
was
just
it was
walking
an
along the edge.
elevator shaft.
Yeah, so the one outside of the building, we
Oh, and
walked
this is not
along the
elevator
edge.
Shaft, what you're talking about?
That's, yeah,
This-
no.
well,
Oh, you're like
we
back to
let-
the wall,
yeah,
like,
like
you
back
know
to
in
the
the
wall,
movies how
kinda
they picture
looking
like people
around.
like sneaking from
like a tiny
room
little
to
ledge.
room in a hotel.
Yeah, it was like
and they climb
a
along the
ledge, and
little
we're kind
edge.
of going around, and then
That's
we
mad.
went around like another pillar, and then there was an open window. I was like, oh, fuck, we can get inside. And
Elevator
I
shaft.
looked in, and it was just an elevator shaft.
And I was like, yeah, I don't think that's a smart idea.
And what like it was too dark. You couldn't really see inside the elevator shaft. Or what?
Just shine a light in, you can, but
Was there-
without the light, no.
Was it literally just empty? Just big.
No,
straight
it
drop?
was there was an elevator and strings and shit. Not strings,
Cables.
the cables.
cables.
Yeah. Where was the elevator at? Like
It was like a couple of meters down.
So you could have jumped.
Yeah, jump on top of
Yeah,
it.
probably
Yes.
could have.
That's the thing.
Don't know if it's
Like
active.
every
though.
single day feels like a holiday. Like the whole premise of it.
This bloke.
No,
He's been
I'm
offered
bringing-
the fairies.
I just thought it was funny how we're talking about elevator shafts and like just
Yeah.
completely got sidetracked from what we're actually
No,
talking
it's not a
about.
sidetrack because like a holiday, the whole premise of it is like you go to a different location and do like physical tasks. They're just like riding on elephants or going for a boat ride, like
Experiences.
experiences. And pretty much if you're just like a really lazy person, you're not capable of doing any physical activities. When you go to seek adventure in daily lives, you can't like jump across elevator shafts and like do this, do that. So it just your life's just kind of so boring.
Yeah, bodybuilder wouldn't be doing that.
You're like a
Dude,
bodybuilder
last
won't
night just reminded me of Batman, like the video game.
Yeah,
I
like-
play Arkham Knight.
because raining. It's raining, bro. Like
Bro, it was raining. We're in
Arkham
the
City.
city.
Like the clip
Yeah.
of me
Climbing.
climbing up that thing.
yeah, Batman Arkham City.
Literally.
Yeah.
It was exactly like it.
We were literally standing. You guys had left already, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is like Gotham City, bro.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. We
On
literally say
God.
because we're in the alleyway. It was like, what happens if Batman just
Dropped
spawned behind us? Yeah, and we
We're like
literally
the
looked like
thugs.
Joker thugs. Or
It was
dressed
very
in
much
black.
the location was very much the vibe for it. Rain
Yeah.
alleyway,
The rain was kind
climbing
of
up
a
the
vibe,
emergency
man.
staircase.
Yeah, really trophy.
Yeah.
That last building was sick. It was huge.
Mm.
Mm.
Well, multiple buildings, I guess.
Lots of props to make use of as well.
You're a bloody fiend.
Yeah, so many shenanigans.
Yeah. But permanent holiday we're definitely on at the moment. At least for me, it feels like, even though
Yeah.
during the day it's just a bit monotonous with work, but outside of that, very much a holiday.
And then Ivan just finds a cane toad and picks it up.
Yeah, called it Tony.
Tony the Toad.
Made friends.
Yeah.
Good adventure last night.
Mm.
Very much so. Thanks.
But
Ivan.
imagine being incapable of doing those things. Like you.
But some people also they don't find that interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so they don't find it interesting, so they go to watch Netflix every single
Yeah.
night, and then when they book a holiday, then they do those physical tasks.
Yeah, so they just watch other people do interesting shit.
Yeah.
That's what
Mm.
Netflix is.
Yeah.
You don't do interesting shit yourself, so you just watch other people do it.
Like, okay, so you spend every single day just being lazy, and then when you decide to take a holiday for work, then you go on all these fun adventures. It just doesn't make sense. Why don't you just do it every single day?
Well, some of the fun adventures they want to do, they can't do like at night after work. Like if they want to go on an adventure of jumping in a hot air balloon, you can't really do that during
Do it on a weekend.
after work.
Do it on a weekend.
I guess that's fair.
Figure it out.
Yeah, figure
Bro,
it
I
out.
love that we have content days now.
Yeah.
Gives us more of a reason to go
makes
out.
life
Bro,
more
it's also-
exciting.
Yeah. It's
So
also
we'll do it anyway.
It's also because we don't drink or party.
Yeah.
That's like, because
Have
that's
fun.
what I'm thinking like, okay, you have 48 weeks working that miserable life, and then you have the 4 weeks holidays. And then, like you said, all right, why don't you just do other stuff, weekends? You have Saturday, Sunday every week. Well, it's because bloody
You're on borrowed time.
90% of people just drinking.
You're on borrowed
Well,
time.
I feel like back
Wake up hungover, and then they get nothing. They sleep in all day, and they waste their whole weekend, and then they just go back to their other. It's just your 4 week holiday. All right, you're going out. You're going 4 weeks on this holiday to just forget about how miserable your life is. Your Friday night, and your Saturday night, you do the exact same thing with drinking.
Yeah, I
Just
feel like
forgetting about how miserable your life is and pretending it's not.
partying for me was like a part of my holiday though.
Yeah, but you didn't drink.
Yeah, but I still was very much in that I don't know aspect of going out every night and partying, but I still just did the other stuff during the day.
Yeah, because you didn't drink. If
Yeah,
you
but-
drank, then you would be like a potato the next day. You'd be incapable of functioning. You'd sleep until 1 p.m.
I don't know.
Feel like shit.
I would
be
assume so.
dehydrated as fuck.
Yeah, that is true. I could do a lot more after nights out.
I
Not good at
don't know
work
if
the next
I'm.
day.
I don't know if I'm weird. Well, I know I'm weird.
Yeah.
But, or just not
Yeah,
like
you
other
are.
people. But I have no urge to like travel, or maybe just young. I don't have an urge to travel the world and see like elephants, go to temples.
You got
all
to do
these
different
cool ones.
things. Like I feel like when I traveled, I did a lot of experience-based things, and I really loved it. Like I'd definitely do it again.
For me, it kind of all just comes down to what normal people do, and I usually want to do the opposite.
You wouldn't want to do
Like
what I did in Europe?
Why don't you want to?
No, some of it definitely seemed exciting, but like for example, if everyone wants to go to Greece and see Santorini, Greece, and see this particular thing, then I'm
Although
usually,
I went there more to party.
then I'm usually not particularly interested in it. But it's like, oh, if I go to Greece and I want to go scuba dive and explore a shipwreck there, okay, that's cool. No one does that shit. That's exciting to me.
Yeah, so just not as mainstream.
As an
in
example.
regards to that. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I get you.
So why aren't you geared that way, Isaac?
Why don't I want to travel?
Mm.
I don't know, just never had the
Opportunity?
urge. Just never really had it. Like I spent most of my money that I saved up during COVID to just buy a laptop. Like all these fun activities I see people do on Instagram, like exploring different countries, never really invited any like curiosity or any urge to do something, I guess.
Yeah, that's
It's not that uncomfortable.
Full stop, or just now at this current point in time? Like, is it just, are you just seeing it and being like, hey,
Well, this is all
that's
I
something
know.
I'll do later, or
This is all I know.
Mm.
And it just gets amplified with my broken ankle. It doesn't feel like it anymore.
Yeah, fair enough. Like I before I did my trip, wasn't really big on going anywhere or doing anything, but we planned it. After I doing it, I do see the appeal to it of traveling and doing all that stuff, but I also see the negative to it. How it can be a bit boring. You don't find it that interesting.
I was gonna put it benefit of the doubt because I'm young and also got a broken ankle.
Some people would say it's
And-
the best time to do it while you're young, though.
Yeah. Well, that's what my dad did. He told me all these stories. He traveled to like every single country in the world. Well, not every single one. Like he didn't go
A
to
lot.
North Korea. But like,
Antarctica, off the map.
So out of pocket, bro.
but like hearing him say that he did all that stuff actually turned me off from doing it. Like seeing him travel the world and then
Like a
then-
bit of both is good. Bit of balance.
But
Do a bit of both.
I reckon if he didn't travel the world, I might have done it.
Yeah, I get exactly what you mean because you probably look at your parents and think, oh,
Yeah.
not that they have bad lives, but you don't really want to turn out like them. Like you want to be your own person and you have your life you want, and you don't want to do what they did or don't want your life to turn out like them. I don't really want to live the life my parents lived. Not that it was bad, but I just want more out of
Yeah.
life.
sounds like it's a ignorance is bliss kind of thing.
Oh yeah, that's a big part of my life as well. Like not doing something is, I don't know what
Well, because you don't really think, you
Like
just do.
ignorance is bliss.
ignorance is, but it's like if you don't try, then you won't get addicted to it,
Yeah.
and then you won't reap the bad parts of it. Like there are good parts to alcohol and there's bad parts to alcohol, but if you just don't try it, you don't get bad or good.
Yeah.
There's too many
That
bad
so it
alcohol.
sounds like the same thing with travel almost. Like in the future, there might be a circumstance that you find yourself in where you're far more capable of going to different places or find the need to, like we've been talking about going to Spain, right? At some point,
Yeah,
like there could be down the road plenty of other opportunities that arise to go to Mexico, to go to Spain, to go to a whole different bunch of countries around the world where you get a taste for what it's like to travel and experience different cultures and experience different things for whatever reason it is. And then you kind of realize that there's a whole world out there and lots of things to do and see. Like Tyler said, he found when he went to Europe, and my mum took me on holidays from like when I was really, really young and instilled that in me because she believes in traveling the world and seeing as much as possible. So like it just sounds like we're all sort of having that realization at different points, you know?
yeah. That's what I'm using as a benefit of doubt because I'm young.
Mm.
But well, when I was younger, I got like brought to Singapore, just like a family trip, and even then, at a young age, I always be like conscious of my parents spending money because I already know that we didn't have that much. It's like whenever they spend money on like a 5-star hotel or like a buffet, I'll always like tell them, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. We don't have to waste that money. Like spend on different things. Like actually be responsible with what you do. I don't care if like I'm not enjoying the trip. It's all right. You can just like put that money elsewhere to look like educational, like a new car or something. Like even when my parents bought a new car 2 years ago, I was saying, why don't you just get it secondhand? Why do you have to get a brand new Hyundai i30? Like
Yeah.
it's still a waste of money. You can get a perfectly functioning car that doesn't cost that much.
That's really interesting because I think as well, or I know, you don't necessarily have to just throw money at things to enjoy them. Like you can travel. I know heaps of people that have traveled on on a really, really, really low budget and had a far better time than a lot of people I know who have traveled with a lot more money and haven't
Yeah.
enjoyed it as much.
Yeah.
And you could even argue that you have a better time when you travel on a low budget because you experience the raw reality of the places that you go and see. Like if you go and stay in a 5-star hotel somewhere, how much of the environment there are you actually experiencing? You're staying in a hotel, you can stay in a 5-star hotel wherever you want. When you travel on a low budget and you have to like bounce around, you meet a whole different culture of people. You know, you see a whole lot more.
Also, it depends where you're going. Like, for example, if you go to Dubai, you'd want money because Dubai is all about
Well,
the luxury.
you need money.
So you don't really get the culture of Dubai unless you have
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
But then compare it to Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia,
Don't need a
places
lot.
like that, you can go on a really small budget and it's
Yeah, yeah,
probably
yeah.
better to experience the culture there. Yeah.
Well, always take Javier as an example because I like live with him for a good part, and like we have similar mindsets and wavelengths. But whenever we brought up the conversation of decking out a van and traveling, he always viewed it as like kind of going backwards, like or not even going anywhere. And he's a very his mindset is pretty similar to me. Like always want to be moving forward, go where the people is, go where the sport is. And like even with his amount of wealth that he's accumulated, he only travels to go to calisthenics competitions. Like he went to Italy for Burning Gate. He went to Poland for the
Traveling 40 lovers.
yeah, exactly.
He's
like,
purely focused on career. Yeah.
yeah, like only time that I
it's
saw
awesome.
him actually enjoy a holiday was when he went to Gold Coast with his partner just to chill it.
I remember that.
Yeah, just to chill.
But
And
he
even
would he definitely enjoys all of those trips, though. You know, like
Yeah, yeah,
it's
because-
not like he doesn't enjoy going to all those places that his career's taking him.
yeah, like I'm gonna enjoy going to Spain. I just know I will because I'm gonna visit Javier. And I'm gonna go to a calisthenics competition, and I'm gonna be a videographer at his event. So
Exactly.
I
And
just-
so it's like, do you just throw money at traveling for the sake of it and throw a lot of it and then just have
Well,
to
depends what you get
work
out of
to
it.
accumulate it back? Or do you structure your entire life into something that involves you traveling where you don't actually have to just throw money at it? You're potentially making money doing it. You know
So-
what I mean?
Yeah, so this is bringing back to the part where like we're not trying to put hate on people that want to travel. Like if you want to travel, that's completely up to you. But what my personal goals are is to integrate travel with like my professional life, not to make it something separate. Because I don't want to feel like I'm going backwards. I don't feel like time is being wasted. I'm pretty sure that's the same as you, right, Jordan?
I think
Sorry.
he's off with the
Missed
fairies,
that.
mate.
This bloke distracted me. Sorry, what was that last bit?
Like you don't just want to go on a holiday and just do nothing.
Yeah. No, absolutely not.
I think
Like,
when
lie down by the pool,
Get
read a
wasted at
book.
Asda.
Like,
good for
nah.
an hour.
Like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, good for an hour.
Yeah.
Then you want to do something.
I want to be doing fun shit that
Yeah.
for me, basically, I just got to do stuff that makes me excited or scared or nervous fairly regularly. If I'm at a point where life is just cruisy, I'm not really doing anything dangerous or intimidating or exciting, I get fucking
Yeah.
so
I was the same on my trip.
so bored. And bro, boredom is, I'd rather be extremely upset than bored or extremely fearful than
I feel
bored.
like when it does come to people traveling, even if they do spend a lot of money, like for me, my trip, I did spend a bit of money on it. Like I didn't want to do it too cheap, not necessarily because I didn't want to, but I wanted to be able to do whatever I wanted on the trip without it being held back. It's like go wherever I wanted, experience whatever I wanted without worrying about the money in that regards.
Another realization I've had is that if I'm going to go on a trip, I want to know that's something that I have access to regularly. So if I was to say I had 20 grand in my bank account and then I blew 10 plus grand on a trip, I know, okay, I wouldn't be able to do a trip like that for a while now. So I wouldn't want to do it to begin with because I know that's not something accessible. Whereas if I get to a point where I can spend that much money regularly and not have to even think about it, that's something that I have access to all the time, rather than doing something that's very inaccessible and knowing, okay, it's going to be a while before I can access that again. I don't want to experience it then.
Some
I want to get to a
people,
point where it's highly accessible and then I can.
some people might motivate them to work harder though, to get that more often.
I reckon the pain motivates me more.
Like some people,
The
maybe
pain
like,
of not being able to do it would motivate me more than going and doing it.
So like some people may want to do it and they're like, I want to do that again, so they're going to work harder so they can do it again.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, but then are you really like progressing, or are you just like setting yourself back to then work back to the original place that you would have been at if you didn't do it? Do you know what I mean? Like work past that point so that it becomes, like Jordan said, accessible, versus getting to that point, then resetting yourself. It's like getting halfway through a game and then just being like, okay, I'm halfway here. I'll just start again and get halfway here again. You know what I mean? That's the way I see it anyway.
At least financially, when you look at financially from that aspect.
Yeah, I see the appeal. I see the appeal in terms of like, you know, it's just like the Europe trips that people went on. They're like, oh, can't wait to go next year, so I'm gonna like work hard and save up my money like for the next year so I can go again. It's like, yeah, that's awesome, but then you're just kind of stuck in a loop of doing the same thing over and over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas set yourself up, get yourself into a position where, like, we might end up going to Europe through what we're building.
I'm literally going to Spain to get paid.
Yeah. Like then you're not setting yourself back at all. You're still progressing and getting to do what you want to do at
Yeah,
the same
and with
time.
Javier, then I just crash at his. Like,
Are you going to do content for Spain?
Surely you do a vlog.
Surely.
he said I'm not.
I was just double checking that you're gonna.
Well, you just
Yeah.
didn't answer for a sec. Oh, you don't want to reveal anything.
No, yeah.
I don't think he's thought about it. It's a while away.
I'm not. I'm not
Is it only
overthinking
Isaac going to Spain?
At least for that, yeah, because he's working there
Well, everyone's going to come with me, right?
eventually. Yeah,
The boys.
What do you?
You're going to ISO, right?
yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought we were
Yeah.
all going.
We are.
Imagine speaking the way we speak amongst Spanish people.
I reckon they'll think we're speaking not English.
They won't know anyway.
Yeah.
They probably think it's more normal than the people you do because they don't understand anyway.
True.
It's getting a bit late. Should we wrap her up? Ski?
Could.
Yeah, I was going to do some work after this.
What time even is it?
Late.
Yeah, good sesh. We've got to run another one this week, so
Mm.
better keep
Yeah.
some of the juices for later.
Yeah.
By the
Yeah,
time
true.
this one hits, it'll be Metabank comp tomorrow. So
Juices.
all the athletes that are competing at Metabank, good luck because I'm going to smash you all.
Still
It's
excited.
funny
to
the
see how
way
you
you
go there.
said that. By the
Yeah.
time this hits, it's going to be Metabank tomorrow.
Yeah.
In the sense of the day that it is
Yeah.
out.
So
It'll be
I'll be
days
in
of that day.
I'll be in Sydney uploading this podcast. How trippy is that?
Sunday.
I'll be in my dining room,
On Sunday night.
laptop on one hand,
Buddy in the other.
the scruff of my dog on the other.
I thought you were going to
uploading
say VB, mate.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Good luck, all the
Yeah.
athletes.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how
Good luck,
you go.
everyone.
I haven't seen you train that much for it.
I'm not
He's
training
not.
at all
He
for it.
doesn't plan on training at all for it.
Yeah,
Still gonna win,
That's why I'm curious.
and he's still gonna win.
that's what I'm doing because
I'm
I'm
rooting for you.
curious.
I'm not saying I'm not
see-
rooting for you. I'm just saying I haven't seen you
I'm
train
just
for
curious
it.
to see how well my endurance has
It's held up?
kept up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, see you guys.
Yeah, catch up.
We'll go.